Welcome, class. Welcome back for another activity. Today we are going to be doing something fresh and new and something even more exciting. Our topic today is picture it, then retell it. Today we are going to learn how to use pictures to retell a story that we read about. And I have a few activities that we are going to do in this lesson to make it more interactive and fun. Okay, our first activity is you are going to tell me your favorite movie. And in order for you to do this, you have to click this link right here, or if your mommy and your daddy have a phone, they would have to scan this QR code and it will lead you to our Flipgrid page. And on the Flipgrid page, you're going to look for this prompt. What is the name of your favorite movie? And then you're going to record yourself saying the name of your name and the name of your favorite movie. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to complete this activity before we move on. And while you're uploading your videos, I'm going to take a short look at those videos. Okay, I only got to see a few of the videos, but you guys are doing such a great job. Give yourself a hand. Okay, and I see that some of the movies are some movies that I watched before, like the Transformers, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella. You guys, you watch some really good movies. I hope that we can have a movie in class one of these days, and I hope you will be willing to watch a new movie with me soon. Okay, let's move on to our next activity. This is a fun fact that you should know about. So, did you know that movies were once words? Yes, they were words before they became pictures. So, in order for it to become a movie, a person had to picture it in their mind. And that person is what we call a screenwriter. So the screenwriter pictures the words in his or her mind, and that is where they got the idea of how to use the pictures to show you what's going on in their mind. Now, I want you to do this for me. I want you to go back to the Flipgrid, and this time you're going to look for this prompt and you're going to tell us what happened in your favorite movie from beginning to end. And remember, in order for you to get to the Flipgrid page, you have to click this link and it's going to take you to the Flipgrid page where you can record your response. I'm going to give you, now this one is going to take a little while longer. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to record your story from beginning to end. And when you're finished recording your story from beginning to end, click on one of your classmates' video and see what they said about their movie. Okay, let's move on to our next activity. Now think about this. What happened when you were trying to tell us about your favorite movie? Now you just have to think about this to yourself. You don't have to actually answer it, but you just think about it to yourself. What happened while you were telling us about your favorite movie from beginning to end? Okay, now I am sure that when you were getting ready to tell us about your version of the movie, that you had to picture the movie in your mind because you had to go back and remember everything about the movie. Well, not everything, but something, and some things that you want us to know about the movie so that you can tell us what happened in the movie, right? Yes. And then you had to use order. And when we say order, we mean that you had to tell us in the way it actually happened. So you didn't start from the end, you started from the beginning and then you went to the end. So you might use some of the words such as beginning. So you might say, in the beginning, there was this beautiful girl and she lived in a big castle with her three sisters. And then you might say next or after or any of those words in order to tell me, okay, there's a next chain of events. There's something else that's coming after that. So you gave me all the details, well, not all the details, but some of the details in the middle. So maybe you told me that one day she ran away because her sisters were not treating her well. So she ran away and she met a handsome prince who fell in love with her. And then you might say, in the end, they both got married and lived happily ever after. Okay? Were those some of the words that you use? Great. You guys are doing such a lovely job being very attentive. You are such a lovely class. Okay. But there's some things that we would have learned before we got here today. And it is about story. So what have we learned about stories so far? Yes, we have learned that in a story there are characters and the setting. Now, what are characters? Yes, characters are a person, thing, or animal in a story that performs the writer's actions or speak. Okay? And what about the setting? Yes. So the setting is where everything happens. So you're going to have a place and the time. So it might be on a hill in the day or in a house in the night, or maybe there might be different times of the day and different places of the day. And then we have the action of the story. So let's recap. The character is the person, animal, or thing in the story that the writer uses to perform an action. And the setting is the time and place in the story. Now I have a quick question for you. Why do you think it is important to picture a story in your head? Now I want you to think about this really long and hard. And you could tell me your responses. Yes. Those are some very great answers. So someone said that you need to picture the story in your head so that you can retell the story. Absolutely. That is a great answer again. You need to remember the story so you picture it in your head. Okay? So, I have 3 reasons here why we need to remember to picture a story in our head. The first reason is that it is for understanding. The second reason is to remember. And the third reason is to retell the story, sometimes for fun. So sometimes we want to remember the story, so we have to picture it in our head because we want to tell our friends about the story, or we want to tell our teacher when we get there first thing in the morning, don't we? Absolutely. Because sometimes the story is funny and we don't want to keep it to ourselves, or the movie is very interesting, so we don't want to keep it to ourselves. But sometimes we don't have the pictures to go with our words, so we have to picture it in our head and use our words. And sometimes you're given a book that might not have pictures in it, but you want to be able to retell the story to maybe your classmates or your parents or your sister or your grandparents. So you have to find a way to bring out the essence or the details of the story so that you could present it to your family and friends.